Hello everyone and welcome to another custom figure showcase and the next edition of my The Second Doctors, and today we have the Second Doctor as he appeared in the War Games. Now obviously we previously had a War Games TARDIS set with the Second Doctor, and that is in fact where this figure base is from, but I've made a few small changes to this. Obviously, firstly and foremostly, you can see he is much dirtier, because this is more sort of intended to be the Second Doctor at the sort of tail end of the story as they're getting back through No Man's Land to the TARDIS. But obviously I have also made some small sculpting changes as he spins round. You can see that he has, not only have I re-sculpted the tear on the knee of his trousers, so now rather than it just being printed on, I've actually sort of sculpted on some bits of fabric that have come over, and then also the actual skin tone underneath. But his pocket is also now ripped, which it does appear in the episode, and that was something which was I believe at one point mentioned that was going to be on the official version, but obviously didn't get put in on the figure, because it would have effectively meant a new coat sculpt, or at the very least have it painted on, which wouldn't have looked right because the pocket would have still been intact. So all I've done here is cut off the edge of the pocket and then paint and then sculpt on a sort of flap where it's folded over, and then just painted it to look like it's sort of got the inside of the lining is showing. I didn't get it exactly right, but it's close enough for how I wanted it. And again, it's sort of made to sort of look creased, as if the pocket's sort of quite blooming and sort of large and ill-fitting as his sort of frock coat was, in that era. But the other thing you can see I've done is I have given him a pair of boots, and I have made a little bit of an error here, because I made the mistake of painting the boots before I checked the colours, and the colours of Patrick Troughton's boots, the Second Doctor's boots, are more a sort of tan brown, rather than this green sort of Wellington look that I went for. But I quite like it. I like the sort of green, and it was sort of, I went with it on the basis of when I watched the episode, the few times we saw his boots, they did seem to be sort of quite a dark tone. So I didn't immediately think they were tan. I did think they were sort of more of a sort of Wellington green. But I still think it looks good. And these are actually from a Tomb Cyberman. And then what I've done is I've cut off his original feet and the lower part of the legs. And those who've watched my how to do videos will know I've done a video on the trick of just using some screws to fix new, repair or fix shoes and other articulated pieces in place. And so that's what I did here, is cut off the feet, put in some small screws, and then I've clipped the boots into those screws. So although I'm not going to pick it up and show you here, the boots are actually articulated and do swivel at the sort of the sort of calf shin area, as you whatever you want to refer to it as, but they do still actually articulate, and I'm very pleased with sort of how they've come out. It has come out very well, and I think that not to knock the version that Character Options gave us, as I've said many times, they are working to a limited budget sort of thing, so I understand why that some things they have to. Not in a bad way, but they have to cut corners in some places for budgetary reasons, which is absolutely fair enough. But I think this is sort of something that would have looked that little bit better in just sort of a very small way if they had had the budget, giving us the new sort of legs and shoes with the boots and the ripped coat pocket would have been a very nice addition. But again, it's a small thing. And we're very lucky just to be getting a new variant of the Second Doctor, as it is, because we've seen so few of them over the years. It's not one of those ones that you can do a whole lot of variants of very easily without producing new parts. So, it was, I do appreciate the one we got, but it was, in doing this, it was sort of doing one that was a bit more sort of closer to what was seen in the episode. You know, even if I got a few of the tones and colours wrong, it is one that I am very pleased with, and it's nice to have it as a sort of you know, last story figure for the second Doctor. But that brings to a close another custom figure showcase and another edition of the Second Doctors. As always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot. Make sure the description below for a link to my Patreon. I'm doing my very first figure animation and you can get involved. There's exclusive content and rewards for those who do so, and funding my Patreon in any way gets your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.